Hello, everybody. I'm excited to be back with another Take a Zooming with Kaymitch. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and add my next caller on. So let me get him in here. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, Zay, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good, good. No, I'm happy that you had some time to give to me so I can gain some insight from you and be able to talk with you and have you on my podcast today. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just kind of want to get some insight from you. So without further ado, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Zavior Alvarez. Everyone just calls me Zay. I'm currently the player development coach here at the University of Nevada.
Cool, cool. That's awesome. So, first question, what does a typical workday look for you as a player development there?
A little different right now. Right now, it's a lot of portal and recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but typically, in season, there's a lot of office work still. So input in schedules, trying to get things like that figured out. But with that allotted time we get for practice, that's when all the fun stuff starts, right? So being able to go into the gym, working with the girls, whether it's in practice, whether it's, there are a lot of time in an individual workout.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's always, the highlight of my day, just being able to get away from the desk for a little bit, right? But a lot of my day kind of consists of, like I said, recruiting, input in a few schedules here and there, breaking down some film, and then obviously, with the allotted time we getting to go work with the girls. So
That's cool. That's cool. I know, like you said, film is a big part of what you're doing. That kind of goes into the next question of like how important is film breakdown when developing like different player skills and everything?
yeah, so film has always been something I loved even when I was playing.
Mhm.
Just because, I wasn't always the tallest person, wasn't the most athletic. So film, as time has gone on, I've been able to kind of realize gives you that insight how
Mhm.
to beat somebody without those, specific needs at times. And I love it because you're going to be able to find something useful in
Mhm.
every play. Every play, there's at least one thing you can use to gain an advantage. Now, I'm not saying it's just one thing, there might be multiple,
Right.
but being able to find at least one thing in each play is crucial just because, whether it's how is this person guarding me when
Mhm.
they close out? How do I need to defend this person once they get to their second move because maybe they're
Wow.
trying to tire out, right? So, it's I love it. I love being able to, listen to guys like Kobe, KD, how they talk about film, just because,
Right.
it really is a science. It's a game of chess.
Mhm.
I want to be able to play checkers when you're confused. And, I love being able to, all right, you're going to pull this move out. I'm going to pull this one out because I know it's coming.
Yeah.
So it's a competitive advantage that, I think you know, is at our disposal. Why not use it?
Mhm.
So in terms of player development,
Yes.
I love being able to show, our girls that.
Mhm.
I love being able to see that light bulb go off. It's one thing to show you, it's another
Uh-huh.
thing when you realize it in
Right.
that moment and you get that look like, oh, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a good feeling to have, especially when you can put all of it together
Mhm.
and kind of show them this is why you're pulling this out in this instant. Because, like I said, one little foot movement, we
Uh-huh.
got to go. It's a
Yeah.
quick instant, but being able to show them in that moment is probably the best thing you can do for them.
Yeah, that's really cool how you like worded that and said that because a lot of times when I'm watching film like over the girls or what moves they try to do, I try to like when they have workouts, I do try to implement it like and then they be like, I never seen it that way or thought about it. And so they're starting to learn like watching film is very important, just like it is working on the moves. Now you saying, okay, why exactly I have you doing this move for this particular reason or play or anything else. So I think that's cool how you develop it in both just watching defensively what people do, but offensively what your player can do against that. So that's cool how you broke that down for us. Um, Next question: how important is mental health to you in college basketball?
Yeah, so obviously, mental health is a very, very big topic,
Mhm.
more so recently. It's funny because me, again, it's not something I thought about when I was playing.
Right. Hmm.
And, I don't know if it's something I struggled with. And, now seeing what our, athletes have to go through, they deal with social media, they deal with
Yeah.
NIL, they're dealing with a lot. There's a lot going on.
Hmm.
So, mental health, I mean, you always got to be able to take time to kind of sit down, sit back, relax, and kind of take everything into perspective. I one thing I like kind of telling our girls, something I've, taken
Hmm.
um, is basketball's supposed to be a release for you.
Right.
It's not supposed to be something that's, frustrating you constantly. You're constantly upset. Like basketball's supposed to be a release for you.
Hmm.
In times where it might not be that release,
Hmm.
find that, out. Find that like, place where you can go and just kind of relax, nothing else is on your mind. You get to just kind of relax and just take in life, enjoy, what life has to offer. Um, it's something that, I think a lot of people really should kind of look into doing just because we're so caught up in the day to day of, oh, I got to do this and I'm focused
Right.
on this,
Hmm.
I'm worried about this. And, just being able to kind of take a step back and sitting down and understanding, okay, I live a great life actually. I
Yeah.
I have a lot to be thankful for.
Hmm.
And I think being able to put that into perspective uh, really kind of gives you a sense of like, okay, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I can handle what's up, what's coming up next.
Hmm.
So yeah, mental health is a very big, factor in how we do things now. And, you got to make sure you're 100% before you can do anything else 100%, right?
Right.
And so I think that's the biggest thing, pushing into the future. You got to make sure you're 100 before you can put your 100 into anything else.
Right. Because if you know as well as anybody else, if you come into practice and games distracted because things are going on mentally, you're not going to be your best physically. Like
Right.
mentally affects everything, spiritually, socially, everything. And so
Right.
when your mind is not right, it's hard to go out there and play your best when you got a million things on your mind. So, and
Right.
I'm gonna start using that word release to my players. Like this is supposed to be your relief, from anything. It's supposed to be fun. And so a lot of times I try to tell them like, basketball is something we do, it's not who we are, but
Right.
also remind them like this is supposed to be your relief from anything going on. So it's not
Right.
supposed to frustrate you. So I'll make sure to implement that for my next season as well. Speaking
Yeah.
of your season and everything, how did you kind of measure your growth, after this season? Once y'all was done playing, like how did you kind of like, okay, just your self growth from it?
Yeah. So I actually really like this question because it's one that kind of makes you kind of, again, you kind of take a step back and kind of realize, okay, you know what did I grow from this year? What helped me? What didn't help me? Um, you know, it's again, it was a question that I thought about a lot just because how can I base that based on, the position I'm in, where
Right.
I'm at? Um, as far as, a team dynamic goes, I love being able to like, how did you grow individually throughout the year?
Hmm.
And that's something that really helped me kind of look at it from my perspective.
Hmm.
We measure our girls based on how did I grow individually? You know, what steps did I take? Whether it was, okay, breaking down a defense,
Hmm.
breaking down, how to coach somebody, breaking down, what I can do better in the office space because the office space is a big part of what we do that we
Hmm.
don't really talk about a lot. So, you know, like I said, this one was tough for me, but I think measuring my growth stems from, you know, am I coming in with a positive attitude every day? I might not be my best every day, but am I coming in with the best possible attitude I can convey to,
Hmm.
the rest of my staff, our athletes? Am I coming in with the best mindset to put forward? Am I going to be a good energy? Am I going to be a bad energy? And, when I come in, I want to be able to give you my all.
Hmm.
And I want you to, give me the same, whether that's 70% for you that day, do it
Hmm.
that way.
Right.
And that's one thing that I kind of, use to measure that. And then honestly, just being able to learn and adapt. one that's, a big thing, what we do, learning and adapting.
Mhm.
Um, Things are constantly changing around us, especially in
Right,
college athletics.
right.
So being able to learn and adapt to, different, mindsets, different scouts, different,
Situation.
things that are thrown, yeah, different things that are thrown our ways. Was I able to do that effectively, throughout the year, not just inconsistently?
Mhm.
I think those are kind of the two biggest things that I really looked at this year, trying to, make sure I'm positive at all times, even, if I'm having a bad day.
Mhm.
And really just trying to navigate the ins and out of what we do because it is hard. It's a
Right.
hard, profession to be in, and, being able to navigate is part of that. And I think those two things are probably what I use to kind of look at my growth, at least through